All right, we're on our third and final lesson as we walk through this thing talking about relationships. And today we're going to talk about romantic relationships in recovery. Romantic relationships in recovery. All right? It says finding romance in recovery and talk about happy endings. For us, we don't really know what happy ending and what a romantic relationship is, because it's been a while since we've been in healthy relationships, right? And so people in sobriety can find romantic relationships to be their hardest challenge. Out of all of the things that we go through, relationships is one of the most difficult. And it's not just romantic relationships like we're talking about today, it's relationships, period. Just relationships with people. But our subject today is romantic relationships. And it's difficult for us because we don't have a good frame of reference for them, right? It says they may have abused alcohol and drugs in the beginning because they lack the confidence to meet new people. When we go back, you think about it, we're socially unmanageable. We have self-esteem issues, a lot of us, right?
Yes.
And so just approaching people is difficult.
Yes.
So when I started to use, it lowered my inhibition. It gave me that false sense of security and boldness, and I was able to step to them. And that's a lot of our story, right? And so when you take the alcohol and drugs away, we become that shy and socially awkward person all over again. And so then we struggle. Now we're clean and we don't know how to do this thing, right? It says they may have abused. Okay. It said when they become sober, they once again struggle with shyness. And it's hard to believe that bold as we are when we're on alcohol, that we're really shy people. And some of us have been using so long, we done forgot who we really are. And so we have to figure out, what is my real personality? Because for me, I started using when I was 12. So I got to go back. My real personality had never even developed. My teenage or adult personality had not developed yet. Because I've been high since I was 12. I smoked weed every day and drank every day until I was either in jail or in here. And I ain't the only one in here, right?
Yeah, right.
So it gave me that boldness and took away my shyness, and I learned to like that person that I was when I was high before crack. You know, I didn't like the guy I was when I was smoking crack, but I liked that guy that I was when I was drinking. That's why I would say when I went to the club, Dion, and y'all walk in, and the mother one, Marcus, and they'll be saying, I'm gonna go over there and get her. They say, Obie, you gonna get her? I said, no, I'm gonna sit here for a while, let y'all do them, have me a couple more drinks. Really, I was scared. But I get me 2 or 3 shots in me, and I'll go across that floor and tell you something. I could be witty and I could be bold, right?
Yeah.
But really, I was scared of girls. Delete that from the tape. It says it can also be hard to meet people because they no longer go to bars. So when we get clean, we have to find another place to meet them. You think about, where did you meet people before you came here? Where did the you?
Where I meet people?
Uh-huh.
The dope house.
The dope house. So now I ain't going to the dope house, so now where do I meet people? Church. Okay. Sober people most definitely can find romance in recovery, but they can benefit from a new approach. So we got to find some new places, and we have to find a new approach. How do I do it? So, you know, brothers, you remember that rap you had when you were high?
Yeah.
You gotta let that go and get a new one. How did you step to him when you was full of that stuff? Whoa, you lying, Jamal.
Talk to you.
Whoa, you lying, Raymond.
leave a stain on your brain, you'll never be the same.
Oh! People leave a stain on her brain. She'll never be the same. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I wish your lady was here today. She said call her anytime, so now we got to call her. It says sober people most definitely can find, we got to find a new approach. We do. See, that was real fly on the block. But now once I change, and I change the kind of people, that may not work with these new people, right? But it was witty. That may make us smile. It said, these are some of the most effective ways for people in recovery to find romance. It is best if people completely avoid new romantic relationships for at least a year. For the first year, then we avoid it. It will be best, right? Now, all of us ain't gonna do that. It didn't say absolutely, it just said, I just put up there it would be best, right? And we've discussed that for the past 3 weeks because emotionally, I'm not ready for a relationship. Because I don't know me. I have not gotten to know this new person that I'm going to turn into when I get clean. It is hard to be in a relationship with somebody and you don't know you, right? You first got to get to know you. So the first person we need to date should be us. It says people in recovery can really struggle in romantic relationships. A huge part of the problem is that they're self-absorbed. That just means that I'm all into me. And it's hard to be in a relationship with a person that they only think about themselves. Isn't it? Because the object of being in a relationship is to find somebody that you share your life with, right? And so if it's all about you, you're not sharing. And that's what we've been doing. See, when you're using, if you've been in a relationship, it's always been all about you. Because the whole relationship has been about you staying clean and keeping you out of trouble and keeping you from going to jail and keeping you alive. So all of your relationships that you've been in of late has been selfish. Because it was all about you staying clean. And some of y'all are in relationships now. You think about it. All that person been doing is focusing on you not getting high. That's a bad relationship, right? Where you can't go nowhere where you're thinking about this person getting high. You know, you gotta beat them to the bank. One of the ladies that used to be here, she said that her and her man, it used to be a race at 12:01. You know, they up at about by 11:58. They going to the bank thing. Refresh. Because he's somewhere at the dope house at the impact machine trying to get the money out. And so she got to beat him to transfer all of the money out of the account before he smoke it up. That's a bad relationship, isn't it? That on the first that y'all playing this game, trying to beat each other to get the money.
Oh, man.
You know, then if she can do that, then they can make it for another month, you know. But if not, she can't pay her bills because he's somewhere trying to withdraw the money out. That's a bad relationship, isn't it? And those are the kind of relationships we've been in, where that person is focused solely on keeping you clean. And so y'all can't enjoy life at all. Hope that makes sense. That's self-absorbed. And then when we get clean, think about this, y'all. Now they've been doing that, right? Now we get clean and we say, now I gotta focus on me for a year. So now she gotta go through that and then wait a whole nother year, or he, on you to get straight. That's some selfish stuff. That's what it's like dating up. That's scary. But it's true. It says when people are too focused on their own needs, it makes it impossible for them to contribute enough to their relationship. This means that romantic partner tends to get fed up or leave. That's what I was talking about. See, because they done went through all of these years focusing on you staying clean. They are looking for that now that you are clean, now they're looking for, they just do. They're looking for a reward, right? That would make sense. But now, okay, now this first year, I got to focus on me again. And so now I'm asking this person to wait on me to get clean. Once I get clean, then I'm saying wait on me to get to know me for another year or so. Then year 2 or 3, it can be about you, baby. But I want you to hang around and stay around. And so that don't always work, right? That's what this is about. It says, it is therefore necessary for people to try to reduce their self-absorption before beginning a relationship. So how do I stop being so focused on me? Somebody tell me that. How are you gonna stop being so focused on you?
You gotta do something for someone else. You gotta do yourself.
Okay? Anybody else?
Communication with others.
Okay, learn how to communicate. Gabe said stop being, what did you say, Gabe?
Do something for someone else.
Okay, do something to somebody else. And you said what now?
You communicate with them by dating, getting to know them.
Okay, I'll take that. And so, because I got to stop being so focused on me, but I can't do that until I get to know this new person that I've become. Because I don't know who I am. I don't know what I like until I first get to know me clean. Because I am not the person I was. I don't even know what I like. You know, I had to learn, loud as my mouth is around here, I'm a quiet and shy person. And I'm a loner. And so I had to learn that it was all right for me to be shy. It was all right for me to be a loner. And it was okay. And I got high trying not to be that person. You know, because I can go home and be by myself and be at my best.
Yeah.
You know, I can go out and entertain myself by myself. I'm a strange dude. I'm not just strange here, I'm strange at home too. Because I'm a loner. And when I tell people I'm quiet and shy, they can't believe it because they see this guy, Chris, and they think that's me. But that ain't really me. And then when cats come to my office and they say, you know, Bussey ain't speaking, he won't even talk to me. And I'm like, now you just met me. The guy was in the classroom was me operating in my gift. That ain't me. Marcus and them got a running joke. They don't like to call me because they say I don't talk. Well, that's me. I'm not tripping. That's me. No, they think that till they get to know me, right, Morgan? They say they are tripping, but I am really quiet and shy and like to be by myself. I'm not having a bad day, that's just me. And guess what, y'all? That's okay. You get to know you sober. You may be me too, or you may be the opposite. You might have been on, you know, nodding all the time, and now get clean and come to find out that you the life of the party kind of person. And that's okay. But you got to discover who you are. You see what I'm saying? Then I had to find somebody that was all right with me being quiet and shy and a loner. You know, I go home and my wife is gone somewhere. That's, you know, all right with that. That's a good day. And it's not that I, you know, it's just that I'm okay by myself. Some of y'all that's been clean, what did you discover about you, Gabe, that you didn't know since you've been clean?
I don't really like people.
Okay. What about you, Bab? What did you discover about you that you didn't know since you've been clean?
Communication.
That you're impatient? Okay, okay. Chrissy, what have you discovered about you since you've been playing?
That I'm shy.
That I'm shy, okay. You see what I'm saying? And guess what? Each one of those things are okay. And I bet you spent a whole bunch of time in misery trying to be somebody other than that. So I don't like people either. I tell my wife all the time, I'm not really a fan of humans. I'm not really a fan of humans. And that sounds crazy for somebody that do a public ministry like I do. That's why when I leave, I go home and sit down somewhere and I don't really have a big need for human interaction. And I'm okay with that. You know, even my kids, they be like, Dad, you know, he all right. You know, he don't really like to be bothered. I don't. But let me give me a little of that fire water in me. Boy, I can do it then. Said, it is therefore necessary for people to try to reduce their self-absorption before they begin a relationship. I read that. It says, check this out. I love this right here. It says, old timers in NA offer the following steps that people should take before beginning a romantic relationship. First, they should buy a plant and take care of this. If the plant is still flourishing after a year, they should buy a pet. Then, if the pet lives, then they go on and do that. But if you can't keep a plant alive, that's why, family member, when y'all walk in here, every plant has a sign on it, don't touch, don't water, because they kill them. So you let them know that they don't be. We had one sister, she went through about 4 or 5 plants, I won't call her name, and she killed them all. We said, you are not ready for a human relationship because you can't keep a pet alive. I mean, a flower alive. It says, if after 2 years the plant and the pet are doing well, only then should people feel ready for a romantic relationship. I believe that. I believe we need to kind of separate ourselves for a moment and get to know us and then ease our way into relationships. Because relationships, the NA text and the big book says that relationships can be a painful area. Because it takes a whole bunch of emotion and time to be in them. And us self-centered people are not ready for that. It says meeting people in bars is no longer a good option for people recovering from addiction. Because that's where we used to meet them. On the block, in the, my sister said, the dope house, in the club, on the corner, you know, hanging out. Well, we can't do that no more, right? Because typically, that was a type of person that was in them places, and now that we're changing, we need to kind of change our type. We talked about it last week, like, for me, I didn't want to be in a relationship with somebody that drank or somebody that smoked weed because I didn't want to be tempted in my private time with that. At least I wanted to be able to control my own environment. And so what the family members have to decide is, if I want my loved one to stay clean, but I enjoy drinking, what do I do? You see what I'm saying? Do you say, sister, like, I want him to stay clean, but you know what? When I come home and I get ready to chill, I want to drink me a couple glasses of wine. You see what I'm saying? Or I want to smoke me a joint. What do you do? Are you willing to make those changes so that your loved one can stay clean? And a lot of times, and I don't know what the women do, but the men lie. Because if the woman asks me, do me having a drink, will that bother you? You know what I'm going to say? No, baby, have your drink. But really it bothers me. But I ain't man enough to say no because that makes me sound weak, right? So me smoking this joint, will it bother you? No, baby, smoke your joint. I'm cool. Now I fall off. You see what I'm saying? And so we have to learn how to negotiate that. And that's a big one. I see it all the time. Now, I chose not to compromise. I've seen a lot of people stay clean and then not bother them. That's a personal choice of mine. But each person has to make that decision themselves. What's y'all thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that, somebody? All right, can you handle being with somebody that uses?
No.
Okay. Why not?
Because I would want to come home too and be able to go out and enjoy myself, not being tempted with the person that I'm going to have to be with every day. I want that complete freedom of not having that temptation 24/7.
Okay. Says there are still plenty opportunities for meeting a significant other. Sober people often should be trying to find romance when attending classes or at the gym. You know, we got to find those new places, you know, other than the bars, whatever the normal places are in our going that we find people. And that takes a lot of times some boldness that we don't necessarily haven't had without alcohol. You know, just stepping to somebody clean is awkward, you know, because you don't know what to say. You know. What say, Raymond? Be quiet now. The boss in the room, be quiet now. Oh, sister, you should have heard it. He said something that was so good. We said what's said in here and stay in here, so we can't share it. So you watched the tape and you heard it. But we ain't gonna tell it. It was good too. It says in order for people to be happy in their relationship, they first need to be happy with themselves. And so that's why we wait a while, y'all, till we learn how to be happy with us. They told me, Obie, wait a year. And they wanted me to learn how to pay my own bills, get in my own apartment, learn how to go to work, come home, pay my own bills, take care of myself for a year before I entered into a relationship. And I done that. And that was one of the greatest things for me because I used to would try to get women to do the things for me that I should have been knowing how to do for myself. And one of the best things that happened to me is I don't need a woman today. I want a woman today. I don't need male. You know what I'm saying? I can make it. And I used to, you know, think I needed y'all to do things. Really what I was trying to do for me is I wanted a mama. So I had y'all doing things that, you know, I don't know how to pay my bills, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. And that's kind of tough when you're 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 years old and you a baby. And I always say this because I heard something over and over. Women would say, I ain't your mama. And I would wonder why I always heard that. You heard that, folks? That's because you're asking some woman to do things that your mama should have stopped doing a long time ago. You know? And then once I stayed in that apartment by myself, I learned how to wash my own clothes. I learned, you know, I can't cook that well, but I learned how to survive. I learned how to pay my bills myself. And so once I started dating, I didn't need a woman to do those things. I was self-sufficient. And that's a wonderful thing. Nobody want to take care of us. You know what I'm saying? And so if you get you an apartment or whatever and stay for a year and learn how to take care of yourself, you'll be better for it. It's a wonderful thing when you can say, Marcus, you know what? I love you, but I don't have to have you. But I choose you. Everybody want to be chosen and not necessarily needed for survival, right? I can't stay clean. Y'all be on that phone. If you don't come down here and be with me, I can't make it through the treatment center. The only way I'm gonna stay sober is if you with me. Ain't that some sad stuff? How many of y'all that ain't got nobody here on the phone saying that? Let me see. I can see it in the eye, they shame. Man, you know, if you come visit me, I can make it. But if you don't come, I can't make it. I'm gonna leave. Every day, you know, well, I met this girl, so I left. So you don't know how to say hi and go on a date and come back to the treatment center, so you gotta leave. Ain't that crazy? Grown folks. Man. We gotta stop being so weak about this, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody, anyway, let me hear it. Those who are dealing with self-esteem issues can struggle particularly hard in romance, because if my self-esteem is low, y'all, I'm no good for nobody. Have y'all ever been in a relationship with a person whose self-esteem was low and they were so needy that they were draining?
Yeah.
You know, they always needed you to encourage them. They always needed you to make them feel all right because they wasn't all right by themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, golly, you a whole lot. Yeah, you a whole lot. It means that they can never fully trust the other person and will be prone to outbursts of jealousy. Always checking your phone. Where you going? I'm going with you. Where you been? That's tough, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Some of y'all in here, that was you, and some of y'all in here dealing with that. You know, where you, if you gotta follow them, you don't need them. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. If you can't trust them, you don't need them. I want to be trustworthy. So that's why I've done the year and so that I would be trustworthy. You know, I trust me. So my wife can trust me. You know, I'm okay. I was telling somebody this morning, I try not to do nothing that I can't tell my wife about. So if I can't discuss it with her, or I can't do it when she's there, that means what? I shouldn't be doing it. That's a good premises to live by, you know. Y'all, some of y'all may want to try that. If the individual does not really love themselves, it can be particularly difficult for them to accept someone. I've messed that up. If the individual does not really love themselves, and what we have to figure out, what does loving myself look like? I thought rewarding myself with drugs and clothes and stuff was me loving myself. But I've learned that taking care of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually is me loving myself. It ain't me going and buying me a new pair of shoes or something. That ain't necessarily loving me. You know, just learn how to take care of myself. Learning that some places and things I shouldn't do because I think of myself more than that. Better than that. You know what I'm saying? Because I love me. And today, like Terrell Owens said, he said, I love me some me. Today, I love me. And that's why I don't take me to the dope house. That's why I ain't doing a whole bunch of stuff. Because I'm not better than anybody, and neither are you, but I'm better than the way I used to treat me.
Amen.
That's what I'm better than.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so I'm better than that. And so are you. It says dealing with relationships is probably the most stressful challenge in recovery. It is. And some of us in here, we're doing it. You're out and you clean and you have a relationship. That's some stressful stuff, isn't it? And I'm talking about the good one. I ain't talking about the problems. It's just when you got to be concerned about other people. Kids and mates and jobs and all of that. Because one of the reasons we use the most is we couldn't handle the pressure of normal life.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about. It was never about getting high.